Hi, my name's Hal Gumbert with Camp Software, and I would like to show you FMClips. FMClips is our tool that we use day to day to help make our coding quicker. It simply stores little bits of things you use in FileMaker so that they're easily accessible so that you can grab them and put them where you need it to be. This is based off of a product from To Empower FM and Dracoventions. Their website is dracoventions.com, and it uses a free product that we're going to talk about in 1 second, but you should also check out the developer assistant. It's pure magic for any FileMaker developer. It's like having the DDR built into FileMaker to be able to find things you're looking for. Definitely check it out. Further down on the page, you can find the Clipboard Explorer, and by clicking more, you can read more about what it does. But basically, it helps you manipulate the clipboard, and it lets you access items on FileMaker's clipboard, which is a really awesome thing. You can download the plugin from here. You'll need to install their plugin for FMClips to work. So let's get into what it can do. So one thing that you do quite often is do a find. So you want to find some records, but that involves choosing enter find mode, setting a field, perform the find, maybe do an if found count is greater than 0. So doing that every single time is a bit repetitive, but it's a lot easier if I could just simply choose copy, come over to my database, make a new script, and simply paste. So now I've got error capture on, enter find mode, all the steps I need to perform a find. So it's really easy to create these too. So for instance, if you're doing if one a lot for whatever reason, you can create one by highlighting whatever you want to store, choose copy, so I'll go to edit, copy, and then within FMClips I can say new, and give it a name of a clip. So I can say if one. So now I have this new clip and I can give it a type. I know these are script steps, and now I have if one. If I click more, I can see a bit more about this clip. I can see all the XML that's represented by this clip. If I come back here, I can choose copy, come back over here, and paste. Now I can, if I want to get into a little more detail, I can edit the XML of this script by going back to the more page, finding that one little thing I want to change, for instance the 1. So maybe I'll change it to if true. And then I will copy the clip, and then I can come back to my script and paste. So now I've got if true. So it's really easy to change these things however you'd like them to read. I'll delete these steps and come back to our list. So one thing you might want to do is loop through records. That's another simple thing, just like finding. So I will choose copy. Now it's popped up and it says you want to replace the values. So I like to comment a lot of my scripts, and so I'll put a special word in there that's really easy to replace, like thing. So if I was looping through a series of contacts, I'll type in contact and say OK. Then I'll come over to my script and paste. So now I have a loop to loop through records. Contact loop, so that's where it did the substitution. If the found count is greater than 0, go to the first record, loop, process a contact. I have a little placeholder for what I want to do, and then at the end I loop out. So that's a whole lot faster than doing one thing at a time, one thing at a time. It's pretty amazing. So to edit that, I can come over to FMClips and hit more, and here I can see all the XML for that. So in order for it to ask me, do I want to change the name of the thing, what I do is I find that word throughout the entire clip, the XML of the clip, and I come up to the top and I have the ability to do 3 substitutions on this. I've never needed more than 2 at this point, but there's 3. And I can just put that word up here, and by putting the word in here, it'll ask me what it should replace it with. We'll go into these other items later, but simply by putting a word here, it'll ask you for what word you want to replace it with. And that's how that works. It's just that simple. So I can get even more complicated. If I wanted to loop records with a progress bar or loop a counter with a progress bar, I can grab this code. We really like Hansa's from 2 for You progress bar. he uses a progress bar with conditional formatting. It works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and do the same thing. I'm going to say change my thing into a contact as if I'm going to loop through contacts. Come over to my script and paste. Now this script's a lot more complex than the prior scripts, and this saved me tons of time coming in and trying to change it. Trying to recreate it would take me a really long time, where I can just copy paste it really quickly. I don't even have to think about the code. I'll put in a quick little pause resume script here and pause for 1 second. Close this script and save it. And then I'll close this. Now I want to grab one more element. I want to grab the actual progress bar. So I have one that's already defined that's 101 pixels by 26 pixels. I'll choose copy, again paste it in here. Now I've got a progress bar on the layout. Now I can simply go run the script, but before I run the script I need to tell it how many values. We have some standard code for that. So I'm just going to override that and just say 15 values. Close it and then run the script. So just like that, I was able to add a progress bar. And I could have done it a whole lot faster if I didn't explain the whole process. So it's really easy to grab bits of code. They can be layout objects, script objects, fields, probably almost anything that you can copy within FileMaker. So to see what the progress bar looks like, I can hit more, and we can see what that looks like. So that was simply, when I originally created that, I took Hans's example, modified it to my liking. I chose copy, and then I made a new clip, and this was the result of this clip. I didn't need to do any substitution. So you can get more complex than this. For instance, if I want to, let's say, create some fields. I have an example I worked on the other day where I needed a whole bunch of global fields. So I'm going to go into here, and here's the XML for it. And let's start off by just copying the clip. So this clip is special because it gives me the option to repeat it. So for the first time I run it, I'm going to say repeat 1, and then these are indices. So for every one of these find replaces, I have an index, and this is index 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to leave it at 1 and say OK. And then it's going to show me, this is kind of special because we're doing repeating clips this time. So it's going to show me what it's going to repeat with. So in this case it says options 001. So I'm just going to say OK. And now if I go to manage database, paste, I have a new field, options 001. So that's not super cool because it's just one little field, but we've added some other options for this. So firstly, we're taking the word options 1 out of the XML. So here's the text that we're changing. And then we're saying replace that with whatever. In fact, this could be, let's see, what's something? Let's say name. So let's just make it say name. So name, and then we insert a tag. This is our tag for the index. So we have to insert that index tag over here. And the next index in this case is 2. So I'll change this back to a 1. And then we're padding that index with zeros, and we want to make it 3 wide. So here we can see the result in gray right under it. This is like the next value. So it's name 001 because we said pad with zeros 3 times with 3s. So if I put a pound sign in here, I'll get ##1. If I put the 0 back in and change this to a 9, I'm going to get a total of 9 characters. So it's really powerful. So we'll put this back to 3. So now I just changed it to name a little bit ago. So I'm going to say copy clip. So how many times do I want to repeat this? Let's say I want to repeat it 20 times. And I want to start with number 1. So I'll say OK. And this is showing me the first name. So when I do repeats, it's actually using the tags. So I'll say OK. And you saw the progress bar pop up. I'll come here, I'll choose paste. Now I've got 20 fields. So I'll say OK to that. So I need a couple more. So I'll come back in here. I'll say copy text. How many times do I want? So let's say I want 10 more. But this time I want to start with number 21, and it remembered the last one I started on. So I can start wherever I like. So I'll say OK, OK, and if you watch this area, you'll see the progress bar. So I can come in here and paste. Now I got some more. So that fast, I can create all these fields instead of sitting here and trying to type out each one and duplicate. It just saves so much time. So I'll discard these changes, go back to the list. So you can do this for many, many, many different field types. We use a lot of custom dialogues, so we have a standard set of fields we use for custom dialogues. So we can paste those in. We have a fourth one for an extra purpose. Discard that. And just about anything you can think of. We actually wrote an Apple script to create an Evernote note. So I can say copy here. We have some tags to replace the field names. And with that I can go into a script. Let me open the script. I'll paste it at the very end. And here it creates the Apple script. In this case it commented the Apple script out because the two fields that we used were not in our database. But just like that, you can store your clips. We'd love to see like what clips you may create, and if you send us any, we'll add them to our website. So if you do send us any clips, be sure to add your name and your company name and your website so that we can give you credit for those. So thanks, and let us know what you think. Have a great day.